Alright, what's up, perps? Back for another video. Just went ahead and posted the one with my new buddy. Um, so we're still hanging out. But I wanted to show a couple of things and talk about a couple of things that I've worked on in the last couple of weeks, that I've got finished up, and just some of the general things that have been happening lately. Um, I haven't put out as much content in the last few weeks as I would like. Matter of fact, I haven't put out a whole anything. Um, it's just been busy. So let's get into it. So one of the first things um, that I finished up, and I still got to do a little bit of work on, a little bit of tuning, is this 19 size frame. This is a frame I got from Flying Rich. This is a Palmetto State PSA dagger slide and barrel that I got for it. Already optics cut, already have the sights on it. I just had to get the barrel and basically finish the slide out, but it's basically a complete slide. Um, Found that for a deal with PSA. Matter of fact, I think John Crump posted the link to it. Um, and it was like 120, 130 bucks for basically the complete slide, sights, almost completely assembled minus barrel. Um, so that was a pretty rocking deal. So um, basically getting this guy tuned up. I haven't even put a single round through it yet. Just basically still kind of tuning it a little bit. One of the weird thing was with this, and you guys see it's clear, see all the way through. One of the weird thing was with this gun is the spring in here, which holds your basically your gate right here. I'm losing my brain for a little bit. For some reason, it would not sit down in the frame all the way to where once you got everything in, trying to figure out a way to put it. Once you got everything in, it was still sitting too high. So you'd go to rack the slide, and it would just bend that spring all the hell and back. And I'd take it out and get everything put back together, get the spring put back in as far as it would go. Same thing. Go run slide, bends it. And I'm not quite 100% sure why that was, why that spring wasn't sitting down all the way. But I actually trimmed the spring a little bit and then pressed it down in there real good and got it to sit right and sit low enough. And it seems like it's working great. Uh, so still kind of working the rails a little bit, trying to smooth the slide out. Um, I probably got a little bit more polishing to do, um, just to get everything kind of worked in, because I want that slide, you know, smooth. Like this is the first 17 that I built. Again, we're clear, nothing in the chamber. So this is the first 17 that I built. And this slide, of course, this thing's got a couple thousand rounds through it, but this slide is just, I mean, butter smooth. So that's the way I want to get this slide. I'm going to work it as much as I can before I even put a few rounds through it to get it, smooth out the rest of the way. Still got just a little bit right there on the back end. I think that I gotta work a little bit, but otherwise, I mean, I love the size of this thing. This may become, once I get it tested and all that, this may become my new carry gun. And like I said, it's already the slide came optics cut already. I've got to put the plate on it because it did come with the cover plate and everything. But yeah, that's so far this. I mean, this one's pretty much complete. That's one of the things I've worked on in between classes. The other is another 17 size frame, but that 17 is going to live in this MCK. This one is made by Polymer 80. It's made to fit the Polymer 80 frames. So I think this one is going to live in this chassis. This 17, when I first got everything together, went to put the slide on it, and you almost couldn't get the slide to move. It felt like it was just running across gravel. So it took me a little while polishing rails, cleaning things up, and got it to where I could take this slide off, put the slide from my other 17 on, and it was just butter smooth. So I got the slide on this one to where, hey, it's pretty damn smooth. So it looks like it's going to operate just fine in this chassis. Now, one problem I had with this 17 when I got everything together was, for some reason, and I don't know how I did it, but hey, it is what it is. The slide catch, the spring wasn't sitting right, so it was actually pushing that slide catch up. So you'd rack slide and it would catch every single time. So I had to pop everything out, pop slide catch out, kind of tweak the bend on the spring a little bit, and got it to where it was sitting down and it was actually working right. Let me pull an empty mag. And actually engaging like it should, without engaging when it shouldn't. So roll it back, catches, roll it back, catches, drops forward, drop the mag, runs. So that is this guy. And like I said, this one's going to live in this chassis, I think. That's where this one's going to do its thing. And for you guys who haven't seen these or haven't used one before, now I've only put about 6-8 rounds through this thing. You know, your gun locks into the chassis. It's got a lock catch in the front, and then you've got a catch in the back that locks in the back of the frame. And then your slide operates inside the chassis just like it would if it was outside of the chassis. You've got a piece that looks like this that sits inside of the chassis that locks into the grooves on the rear of the slide, and that's this piece that you actually use to manipulate the slide. And you just have to get the right one that's going to fit the grooves or the serrations on the back of your slide. And once everything's locked in, your barrel lines up with this. It's basically a barrel extension at this point. And it seems to shoot really good. I'm going to do a different sight on it. This is just some POS Chinesium that I had laying around that I just stuck on here just to have a sight on it for right now. So that's nothing special. Pretty much standard sling, nothing special there. For those of you who don't know, up here in the front, it's actually got a place for another mag. You could actually use that as a handle if you wanted to. And then when you've got to change mags, you just drop that mag and then run that mag back. So it's a pretty slick setup. And you know, this is going to be, once I get used to it, this could be a pretty good little, almost like a carbine. So it's a pretty slick setup. And of course, there's other things I'm going to do. I'm going to stick or actually get the light that goes in the front of it, and then do some changes up on the sides. probably do some Cerakote on this, um, or I'll just do like I've done to a lot of my other guns and just rattle can the hell out of it, make everything match, break up the outline of it, uh, kind of like I've done to, a lot of my other AKs, uh, just because moving through certain environments, this thing would stick out like a freaking sore thumb. So I like things to be, a little camoed up. So, and this will more than likely get the treatment here shortly. Uh, but I want to talk about those. I want to talk about some of the issues that I had with the guns themselves when I was putting them together. Some of you guys that have done many more of these than I have probably seen issues like that already. For any of you who are thinking about building, before before everything shuts down and we can't get polymer 80s anymore that aren't serialized. But if you guys ran into something like that, I might not make the perfect fix on that by trimming that spring and getting it to sit flush. If anybody out there had a different fix for that, hey man, hit me up in the comments. I'm still learning. It's one of the reasons that I'm doing the gunsmithing stuff with SDI right now, so I can learn more of this. Eventually I want it to be a business along with the plasma cuts and everything you see hanging up, but definitely, trying to improve my knowledge base and my skill sets. So the couple of issues that I had with these last two pistols, I learned a lot from. More than I did from the first build. The first build, this guy, I didn't have a single issue with it. Got everything, got all the blocks trimmed, got everything drilled, got everything put together, slide on it. Slide ran really pretty smooth as soon as I got the gun together, and then certainly after the couple of thousand rounds I've put through it, that slide is absolutely beautiful. It runs as good as the slide on my 1911, and my 1911 feels like it's running on just glass. Set that down there. So, yeah, this is the 1911 I was talking about, and that slide is just it's just a work of art. As far as the slide operating smooth, you don't feel any bumps in the slide or anything like that. It's just and this is a Colt government model. God, I've had it for a few years now. There are a few reasons this gun is very special to me. I won't get into all of it. Some of those things are decently personal to me, but this definitely definitely is very special to me. And for those of you who like 1911s, you know what I'm talking about. This thing has a beautiful trigger on it. The slide is just butter smooth. It's so far, God knows how many hundreds or thousands of rounds I have through this thing. It has never met a round that it would not feed. It's just been a overall beautiful shooting gun and very dependable. And that's the way I want my other guns that I'm building to be. Not finicky about ammo. I want the slides smooth and crisp. I'm learning and I'm studying more about actually doing some work on the triggers on them, smoothing triggers out, kind of polishing surfaces. And who knows, I may do a little bit of stuff on that. With YouTube these days, I don't know how much I can get away with. I know a lot of you guys out there are putting up with the same thing, so we'll see. Maybe being a gunsmith and actually being in school for gunsmithing, and maybe just because I'm a smaller channel and YouTube really doesn't give a crap sometimes, maybe I can get away with a little bit more, and show some things off. But that's some of the stuff that I finished. The things that I finished before then. You guys have seen the video of the side folder that I built, the AK. I got to put a few more rounds through it, just to run it. But so far it's been, I mean, operating great and running smooth. So hey, man, hoping in the next little while, to actually shoot some video at the range that we're a member of. It's a, private range, I guess, where we can actually get out, manipulate, draw from holsters, work some different cover shooting and stuff like that. Actually get out and move. It's not like being on one of the other ranges where you can't draw from a holster and you're presenting and just popping at targets. You can't get up and move. You can't switch weapons and stuff like that, and do a whole lot of manipulation. So hopefully I can get out in the next little while and crank some videos like that. I've actually got to get my mom out to the range since she is doing a lot better with some things right now, and she's already got the it's a Ruger. I can't remember the model on it offhand. It's got a dot sight on it and stuff. She's already got her carry holster, so we've got to get her out to the range and get her spooled up and actually doing some training. So hopefully she can start rocking and rolling and carrying. That's just more stuff that we're gonna hopefully be working on shortly. And maybe I can get some video of that. I mean, maybe I can get some video of me and Mammy out there at the range doing some blasting. We'll see. I gotta be careful around Mammy. I gotta watch my language and stuff. So, I your mom's still your mom no matter how old you are. So, hey, gotta respect the gray hair. So that's kind of the things going on, man. Other than that, I'm just kind of babbling, getting back to actually putting a little bit of content out. Hopefully, get to the range, show you guys some of the blasters we've been working on, and just start having some more fun, man. Starting to kind of level out on the SDI stuff. Being online, completely online like this, getting used to the flow of the classes is taking a little bit. In between, like I said, kids, work, tons of other stuff that I've still got to get to, around the house. Working on vehicles, just tons of stuff. But I'm getting kind of into the flow, and getting used to the class structure and stuff. So hopefully I can free up a little bit more time that way, to be able to film a little bit more content. And some of the time, to be honest, man, I just need to take a break from working on some of the stuff with classes and shoot a video or two, just to, I don't know, get out of that rut for a little bit and do something else. If any of you guys have any questions about SDI classes and how they're going, hit me up in the comments or something, or message me. If you're interested in doing SDI, and want to know basically class setups, I'll tell you what I know. I'm 6 weeks in, fixing to move into the 7th week next week. Then the week after will be finals, because it's pretty much 8-week semesters, 2 classes running at the same time for that 8-week section. These 2 starting classes has been Intro to Firearms and Basic Ballistics. So learning a lot more about projectiles and just general ballistics. There's a bunch of stuff about casting projectiles. Um, we've been in modules for the last 2 weeks at least, going over swaging projectiles, whether you're with a dedicated swaging press or working on a reloading press. Um, there's all the different projectiles and things you can make with these, because if you have a true swaging press, there's the sky's the limit. You can pretty much make any bullet you can buy. So that's really cool. The issue with that is shit, that equipment is expensive. So I don't see swaging equipment in my future very soon, but later, yes, yeah, probably so. All right. So I tell you what, let this one go, and I will catch you perps on the next one. I think I'm going to shoot an episode of paper cuts. I've got to get back on top of those. Um, and I've got to check some of my information and update it, because it has been so long since I've actually sat down and looked at a couple of these bills, um, and then we can roll through those. So you perps be cool, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Later, guys.